But another Sahabiya who was instrumental and critical in the early da'wah that most people have never heard of, her name is Zinira. In some of the books it's mentioned as Zunairah. In some, bil kasra al za, Zinira. And she was a slave, and she was a woman. So in a time and in a society where women had no rights, in a time where slaves had less rights than that, in a very tribal, racist society, her standing in society was very low. She was a woman, she was a slave to Banu Makhzum, a very powerful tribe, and that is the tribe of Abu Jahl and Khalid bin Walid and Ikramah and those very powerful men who were kuffar at the time. As we know, Khalid bin Walid radiyan became Muslim very late, but Abu Jahl, he never became Muslim. And he was one of the worst enemies of Islam. He was called the Fir'aun of this ummah. Many of us have heard about Bilal radiallahu anhu and Khabbab radiallahu anhu and their torture and their sacrifice, their patience. But Zunairah radiallahu anha, she went through equal, if not more than them. She was a woman and she was a slave, and she was open about her Islam at a time where many men were hiding their Islam. And she was beaten and she was tortured to the point that she lost her eyesight. The men of Banu Makhzum would beat her, and they would call especially for Abu Jahl, because he was a master in torturing people. He was a person who was skilled in causing pain and suffering. So like he did with Bilal radiyan, worse he would do with Zinira radiallahu anha, to the point that he would take hot burning metal and put it on her head. And he would beat her and they would starve her to the point that she lost her eyesight. Even at that point, she did not leave Islam. She did not falter in her iman. She did not compromise her religion. She didn't say, why me? Why do I have to go through this? What's this religion done for? No, she realized Islam is the truth and she stood for the da'wah, to the point when she lost her eyesight, they came and mocked her. They said, Lat and Uzza has taken your eyesight, the idols. And she replied to them firmly, bravely. She said, no, Allah is the only one that can give and take eyesight. And she made dua to Allah. She said, oh Allah, don't let them mock with their idols. She didn't care her eyesight was gone. She didn't say, Allah, I want to see again. No, she was ready to be patient for that. But she didn't want them to have the satisfaction thinking a wood or a stone idol can do anything. And she asked Allah, and miraculously, without doctors, without hospitals, without surgery, Allah returned her eyesight to her. And she was freed like Bilal radiallahu by Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. And she continued to be a great support for the community and for the da'wah. So I want our sisters to realize that these women like Aisha radiallahu anha, and like Sulaim and Habiba and Haram and these great Sahabiyat, these are our role models. We should learn about them, the authentic narrations about them. We should follow in their footsteps, in their hijab, in their haya, in their covering, in their modesty, in their da'wah, done within the guidelines of the Quran and the Sunnah. Many times we see our youth don't know the Sahaba, and many times our sisters don't know the Sahabiyat, and don't know the rich legacy of the great scholars of this ummah, the female scholars after that time, like Fatima al-Makkiyya and others, whose books are still being read today. So, inshallah, this is just a reminder for myself and my sisters in Islam, and I want to open it up to question and answer, inshallah, in any way that you find beneficial.